Hey, welcome back, folks. This is the blogcast from ShawnVanDyke.com. And in this blogcast, we're going to be covering part 3 of a series of disciplines to grow a construction business. And specifically, we're going to be talking about business planning. In my previous 2 articles, I discussed how to grow a construction business in part 1 by using the margin required for your business to determine your markup, and in part 2, tracking your labor costs using billing codes. So check out the blog post, and there's links to both of those previous articles. But in part 3 of this series for FineHomeBuilding.com, I outlined a method to analyze the data that you're tracking. Now, I refer to this method as the gravity versus frequency reporting summary. And the basic theory behind this method is this: the gravity of a report is inversely proportional to the frequency at which that report is reviewed. Now, I know that might seem a little bit confusing, but in other words, what I'm trying to say here is the more often you review a report, the less weight or gravity it carries. And the less often you review a report, the more weight it carries. So the more often you look at a number, the less important it is because you've got more time to review it and plan some changes for it. But if you're not looking at a number, say like a yearly report or a quarterly report, then the numbers in those reports carry much more weight or have more gravity. And we'll get into the explanation of this in this blog post. So let's talk about your construction business planning. The gravity versus frequency reporting method allows you to establish a systematic review of your business's performance on a weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly basis. In analyzing your construction business using this method, you'll be able to determine the progress of your construction business in these 4 areas. Number 1, we're going to be taking a look at weekly reports, and those weekly reports will define the actions you're taking to drive the day-to-day operations of your business. And number 2, we're going to look at monthly reports, and the monthly reports will identify the trends that are occurring during the regular cycle or cycles of your business. Number 3, we'll be looking at quarterly reports, and these will track the progress that you're making towards your goals. And number 4, the yearly reports will help you determine if you are accomplishing the mission of your construction business. So let's take a look at how these reports feed into one another. So for example, one of the things that's going to appear on your weekly reports is something I call the average weekly billing number, or the AWB. And this number is one of the metrics that you should be tracking each week. And there's a link in the blog post to see a more detailed review of how you develop your average weekly billing number. So average weekly billing, or AWB, is simply the total revenue projection for the year divided by the number of weeks in a year, or AWB is projected total revenue divided by 52 weeks. So for example, if you project that you need to have a total revenue of $1 million in order to achieve your overall business goals for the year, then the AWB for that goal would be $19,230. And the way you get there is you just take $1 million, your total revenue projected, divided by 52 weeks, and that equals about $19,230. So if you don't produce an invoice at least an average of $19,230 each week for the entire year, then you will not achieve your income goal. It's just that simple. But the gravity or weight of this number that it carries is not as critical as other metrics in this report because you're analyzing this number each week. So if you fall short of this number in any given week, well, you still have the next week or the following weeks to make changes in your production, your estimating, or other lead indicators that control this weekly number. So this metric carries less weight because you've got time to analyze it, you've got time to make some changes. But if we contrast this metric to another metric that you'll be analyzing maybe once per month, such as the monthly budget, then the gravity gets a little bit steeper. The monthly budget carries more weight than the average weekly billing because you're analyzing the monthly budget less frequently. See, there are only 12 opportunities in a year to adjust the monthly budget numbers, as opposed to the average weekly billing where you might have 52 different opportunities to change that number. But the monthly budget analysis doesn't carry as much weight as, say, the quarterly budget. Since you're looking at the quarterly budget only 4 times per year, the information contained in this report is very important to the operation of your business. And that leads to the most important report of all, and that's the yearly report. Not only do these reports, the yearly reports, tell you what you did the previous year, but they're going to help set you up for the goals for the upcoming year. So below is the gravity versus frequency report summary. And you can take a look at the blog post, and there's a graphic there that lists all of the different weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly reports. And I'll just run through these real quick just to give you an example. So for weekly reports, we want to look at project profitability, average weekly billing, and something that I call the bookkeeper's report, which you're going to take a look at the balance sheet, accounts receivable, bills to pay, and a budget summary, just for reference. The monthly reports, for example, you're going to take a look at your closing rates, your income streams, historical trends, the monthly budget, accounts receivable, and expenses. On a monthly basis, you always want to review your expenses. The quarterly reports, we're going to take a look at the man hours, and they're going to show the average revenue per labor hours. You're also going to be taking a look at your estimating processes and your base rate or your production factors that you're using to produce your estimates, because we need to adjust those frequently throughout the year to make sure that we're pricing our work correctly. We're also going to be taking a look at our billing codes and making sure that our labor budgets are matching our projections for those. We're also going to be taking a look at our quarterly budget, and you're going to compare the actual profit and loss statement for the quarter versus the budgeted profit and loss statement. And all of these reports are going to add up to be summarized into the most important report of all, the yearly report, where we're going to take a look at the profit and loss analysis. We're going to be taking a look at financial ratios such as the quick ratio, the current ratio, revenue per employee, and other metrics like that. We're also going to be taking a look at the percentage of work per client, your closing rate per income stream, and your proposed budget for the entire year, and compare that and help us use that to develop the budget for next year. Having access to the important information that drives your business's performance is vital to the long-term success of your business. You must know which data to analyze and how often to review this data in order to make the decisions necessary to drive your business success. Using this method of reporting to prioritize the flow of information within your construction business so that you can plan for short-term and long-term success. When you're clear on the actions, weekly reports, that drive your business, you'll be able to spot the trends, the monthly reports, that occur in your business. And when you can predict the trends in your business, you'll be able to achieve your goals, which are the quarterly reports, in a more consistent manner. And when you consistently reach or exceed your goals, then you'll be able to accomplish your mission, which is shown on the yearly report, and you'll be able to grow your construction business. Need help streamlining your construction business? Sign up today to receive a free copy of the Paperwork Punch List, 28 Days to Streamline Your Construction Business. And this book is available exclusively for free at ShawnVanDyke.com/thepaperworkpunchlist. That's ShawnVanDyke.com, ShawnVanDyke.com/thepaperworkpunchlist. Hey, Shawn Van Dyke here. I just wanted to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to listen to this audio post. Email me any questions or comments you might have at my email address, which is connect@ShawnVanDyke.com. That's CONNECT @ShawnVanDyke.com. And let me know what you think. Thanks so much.